We came for the interview, but we left with tears in our eyes. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 heartbreaking celebrity interviews. For this list, we're looking at personal and intimate interviews with celebrities that resulted in some real emotions or even straight-up breakdowns. Number 10, Angelina Jolie. In an emotionally raw interview with National Geographic, the American actress and filmmaker was asked about the moments and people that made an impression on her over the years. In response, Jolie related her first humanitarian trip to Sierra Leone and her encounter with a 10 or 11-year-old at a transit center with a gunshot wound that rendered him unable to move his legs.
I can't explain it. He was a healthy kid about a year before that. He'd gotten shot, and then he started to lose the ability to move his legs. And so he was moving them with his hands.
Being one among thousands and considered a hopeless case, he was left untreated.
I found out that they said he was probably just going to die because of the reality of how many people were in that situation.
Tearing up, Jolie recalled feeling completely helpless, but also how it helped her realize that every individual counts.
Every individual does count, so that's what that makes me think.
Number 9, Kendrick Lamar. In this brutally honest interview, viewers had the chance to see a very different side of the rapper and songwriter. Kendrick Lamar has enjoyed tremendous success in his career, with no fewer than 13 Grammy Awards to his name.
When these things happen, my release therapy is writing the music. And this was one of the records that came about.
But in this MTV interview, he opened up about experiencing depression and suicidal thoughts, both on tour and at home.
It all psychologically, it messes your brain up because you live in this life, you know what I'm saying, but you still have to face realities of this.
Delving into his darkest moments and how they've affected him, Lamar spoke soberly about how music became his therapy, and about feeling a sort of survivor's guilt over his success, particularly after the murder of 3 close friends.
I can either pimp this situation or I can fall victim to it, you know what I mean? And that was a turning point.
Number 8, Diane Guerrero. When she was just 14 years old, this American actress and author had to deal with the sad reality of coming home to find her parents gone. In an interview on CNN, Guerrero revealed how her parents tried to prepare her for the possibility that they could be deported, and her memories of the day it finally happened.
And I got home and their cars were there, and dinner was started and the lights were on, but I couldn't find them.
Although many years have passed since the day Guerrero hid under her bed hoping that the police wouldn't come for her too, some of the saddest moments in this CNN interview came when she revealed that, although she now sees them yearly, she still sometimes feels as if she doesn't really know them anymore.
It's difficult because I've grown up without them, and there's things about them that are new that I don't recognize, and it hurts.
Number 7, Tracy Morgan. In a tear-jerking interview with the Today Show's Matt Lauer, beloved actor and comedian Tracy Morgan told all. After a horrifying car accident that left him in a coma, Morgan woke up to discover that his close friend and mentor James McNair had been killed in the crash.
He was a good man. It just hurts me to see that he's gone. That's it.
Afterwards, Morgan confessed he would watch the accident and McNair's funeral on YouTube repeatedly until he, quote, lost it.
One day, I came across his funeral on YouTube, and I lost it for about a week.
Morgan also spoke freely about how the accident affected him physically, confessing to Lauer that he still suffers from memory loss, headaches, and nosebleeds.
There are times where I got the headaches and the nosebleeds, and I won't even let my lady know because I don't want her to be worried about it.
Number 6, Meghan Markle.
My British friend said to me, "I'm sure he's great, but you shouldn't do it because the British tabloids will destroy your life."
In a series of intense interviews with the royal couple, ITV's Tom Bradby revealed a lot going on under the surface. Prince Harry spoke emotionally about his trauma over the death of his mother and his pain at the constant bullying his wife experiences.
I will not be bullied into playing a game that killed my mum.
But it was even more heartbreaking to hear from the Duchess of Sussex herself. In a telling interview, Markle talked about her struggles with the British tabloids, especially as a newlywed and new mother.
Thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay, but it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
You can't help but feel bad for the Duchess, who's clearly feeling vulnerable as she reveals that she is not really okay.
Would it be fair to say not really okay, since it's really been a struggle?
Yes.
Number 5, Britney Spears. At 21 years old, this best-selling teenage artist of all time sat down with Diane Sawyer in 2003 for a tell-all interview. Sawyer certainly didn't pull any punches.
I have to ask a couple of things about Justin.
Okay, of course.
Things got noticeably difficult for Spears when Sawyer brought up her recent breakup with Justin Timberlake, who, Spears said, she'd imagined she would spend the rest of her life with.
I will always love him. He'll always have a special place in my heart.
Although she admitted that Timberlake was, quote, not wrong in accusing her of being unfaithful, Spears couldn't hold back the tears when his name came up and begged for the interview to stop.
Yeah, it was a weird time. Ew, I'm embarrassed. Can we stop?
Number 4, Rihanna. Although she never broke down in tears, the emotion was palpable in the face of the award-winning Barbadian singer and actress.
We love each other, and we probably always will.
In her interview with Oprah, Rihanna revealed that although she and her former flame Chris Brown were not in a relationship anymore, he was her first love and will probably always be the love of her life.
He was the love of my life. He was the first love, and I see that he loved me the same way.
In a particularly touching moment that will resonate with anyone who's ever had to end things with someone special, she confessed that she'd be crushed if he's ever lonely or unhappy, and that she just wants him to be at peace.
The main thing for me is that he is at peace. You know, I'm not at peace if he's a little unhappy.
Number 3, Ariana Grande. Shortly after Ariana Grande's concert ended in Manchester on May 22, 2017, a terrorist set off an explosive in the arena, causing multiple deaths and over 500 injuries.
You got pretty emotional, and I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it.
It sounds like so hard, whatever you want.
In a subsequent interview with Beats One radio station, Grande was asked to talk about her song Get Well Soon, created as a response to the anxiety and trauma she experienced after the attack.
You know, some dark shit out there, man.
It is.
So we just have to, be there for each other as much as we can.
She relived much of those raw emotions in the interview as she discussed the song's deeper meaning. As the title suggests, Get Well Soon is all about being there for one another, the musical equivalent of a hug.
I feel like the lyrics can be kind of corny when I talk about, wanting to hug you and stuff, but, I really do.
Number 2, Celine Dion. Although Dion has given a lot of emotional interviews, there are perhaps none as heartbreaking as this unaired clip from the Sunday Project.
I could hear him because I was expecting him. No one calls me in my dressing room but my husband.
In it, Dion recalled her last conversation with her husband René Angelil, a quiet phone call in her dressing room in which he told her that he loved her and wished her a good show.
So the phone rings and he said, I just want you to wish you a great show and to tell you that I love you.
She also related going home that night after her concert and not going in to see him before his passing, in a decision that has clearly weighed heavily on her.
Why didn't I go? I should have. You cannot, because you will always live with regrets, and you can't. It's not me. I can't.
Before we unveil our emotional top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Just to experience those two little boys' anticipation of this movie. And when I found out that they...
What do you think he would have thought to see you here now with 20 Grand Slams? It's okay. I'm sorry.
It's just everything.
Okay.
It's all these emotions that I have.
You feel that Francia saved your life?
Because she did. That's it.
Yeah, but you still miss it.
Yeah.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Princess Diana. The life of Lady Di reads like a Greek tragedy, culminating in the devastating car accident that claimed her life in August 1997. Especially in hindsight, there's something particularly heartrending about her BBC One Panorama interview, broadcast in November 1995.
Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
In it, she chronicled the struggles of living in the royal family, dealing with an unfaithful spouse, and living with constant public criticism and media attention.
They see me as a threat of some kind, and I'm here to do good.
Although she didn't feel like she would ever be queen, all she wanted was to be a, quote, queen of people's hearts. And that's the part that gets us every single time.
I'd like to be a queen of people's hearts in people's hearts, but I don't see myself being queen of this country.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.